Hello artists, Mrs. Arnold here. So excited to be back and be able to be making art with all of you once again. This week the project that we're going to be working on is going to be a typography project. So when we talk about typography in art, what that is the design of letters and numbers and the alphabet. So we are going to be using letters to create a beautiful work of art that has the theme of thankfulness, because this week is Thanksgiving and this holiday is all about giving thanks for the things in your life that make you happy. So we are going to need, you're going to need a piece of paper to start. And if you can find a piece of blank paper, that's going to be the best. If all you have is lined paper, that's okay. It will work too. But if you can find even just blank, what I have here is just copy paper from my printer at home. So even if you're just using that, it doesn't have to be like a fancy drawing paper or anything like that. So you're going to need your paper. You're going to want a pencil to start. And I am going to be using crayons and markers to add color to my project. You could really use any materials that you have at home that you really enjoy using, whether that's it can be crayons and markers, but it could be oil pastels, it could be colored pencils, whatever you really like to use is just fine. So I am going to be creating the project here with you guys, and then when we're all done, you can post a picture of your beautiful artwork so that I can see it, which I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's been a super long time since I've been able to see your beautiful artwork. So let's get started here. Alrighty, so to start, I've just got a notebook here because I decided to first write down the things that I am thankful for. I just kind of wrote down like the first 10 things that came to mind. I feel like it's easier to do this first because then when I'm writing out my letters on my typography project, I know I have everything spelled correctly and it's right in front of me. Sometimes when I start getting fancy with my lettering, I forget about spelling and then I'll spell a word wrong. And I didn't want to do that right now because I'm going to actually be starting mine with Sharpie because I want you to be able to see it nice and clear. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to make some horizontal lines across my paper from edge to edge. And as you can see, they're kind of at an angle so that the space between the two lines changes. And this is kind of where the challenge comes in with your typography design. I am on the first row, I am writing, I am thankful for. And for each section, I'm going to try and make my letters look a little different. I'm going to try and make a new style of alphabet for each little section on my paper. I've got 6 sections. So however many sections you have, that's how many designs you'll want to come up with. So now I am making my second section. I decided to make my letters really swirly and curvy here. So I am, as you can see, my letters are going from the top line all the way to the bottom line. So like the Y in the word my, looks a little unusual the way it's spaced because we're having fun with space here and our typography, and it's gonna fill up that whole space that you've got there for yourself. So top to bottom, filling it all the way. So number 1, I am thankful for my students, you guys, yes, the most important ones, so I listed it first. And now I'm moving on to my next section. I decided to do some big block letters this time because I knew it would look way different than my swirly curvy letters. My dog.
Fagin. I couldn't fit his name, so it just says my dog. There we go. Let's see, what's next? Just taking some time there to kind of brainstorm, what style of letter do I want to do next? What kind of ideas can I come up with? So I decided to go curvy with my letters again because I thought that it would look good if it was like one line was really straight and then the next line was really curvy. But I'm trying to do it different than my last curvy letters. So I am thankful for my cat, Amelia. Ooh, almost ran out of space there for my A. It's squished, but that's okay. You'll be working in pencil, so if that happens to you, you'll be able to erase and work it out. I was using Sharpie, so I was like, uh-oh. Oh, well, here we go. Next, super duper important, I am thankful for family. And I'm making some big bubbly letters this time. And even though I had big letters a couple lines up, instead of giving this one like really hard crisp edges, I made it really light, like almost like a cloud. Just curvy and gentle. Last section. Oh boy. I'm thankful for my students, my dog, my cat Amelia, my family. And last but not least, I am thankful for mashed potatoes. Oh, so excited. Thanksgiving is this week. Can't wait to have mashed potatoes. So now we get to add color. So I'm going to be using markers and crayons. So for all of my lettering, I'm going to go over all of my lettering with marker because I know that that's going to look darker on my paper than my crayon. So my words, my typography, the most important part of my project, is going to stand out no matter what I color my background with crayon because I made it nice and bold with my markers. So you might want to go over your letters first with Sharpie or with a black marker, but if you just want to use your regular colored markers and not worry about the black Sharpie step, that's okay too. It's kind of just your preference. You're the artist, so you get to decide. And then each section I'm going to make a different color. For me, because I love the rainbow so much, I decided I had 6 sections and there's 6 colors in the rainbow, so I'm going to go in rainbow order. But you can do whatever you would like with these colors. Switch them up however you want. If you want to have a pattern, if you want to have each section like a couple of colors with your marker versus your crayon, it's totally your call. You just want to make sure each section looks different so that they are that it's clear which section is which. Red, then orange, and now yellow, my favorite color. Oh yes. I'd love to know what all your guys' favorite colors are. You should leave a comment on this video and let me know what your favorite color is. We should take a poll and see like which color ends up being the most popular. That would be really interesting. All right. Next comes green. I'm all done with my warm colors. Switching to my cool color family now. So loopy. And now we've got blue. So I don't know how you color in with markers, but the way that I like to do it, you can kind of see there a little bit. It's really towards the bottom of the page there, but or like the frame. But so when I color with markers, I like to use a series of lines. So I just use horizontal lines. I start at like the top of a shape and then I just make horizontal lines going all the way across. I feel like I am able to color in so much faster when I do this because instead of just kind of like scribbling willy-nilly trying to fill the whole space, and then I've got all of those white spots I need to fill in that I missed when I was just scribbling like wild. If I just do these lines like this, it fills it in so fast. I don't have to like go back and like fix anything except for like around the edges. So you can color with your markers however you would like, but that's just a tip from me. I've just found that that works best for me. A lot of artists who are like illustrators or like comic book artists or those kinds of careers, they will use markers this way. That's how I learned it. Oh yeah, just filling in these last edges. Looks good. Awesome. Last but not least, once again, mashed potatoes, filling in with purple. Getting hungry just thinking about it. Potatoes. Perfect. Got it. Done with my markers, switching to my crayons now. So I decided that I wanted to do kind of a monochromatic theme, which means you're using the same color. So in my section that I wrote with red, I'm using my red crayon. In my section with orange, I'm using my orange crayon. I really like the way that that looks, but you don't have to do the same color. You can choose whatever colors you would like for filling in your sections. And I wanted to make it look interesting, so I decided to use some value by making the top of each of my sections a little darker and then getting slowly lighter as I get down towards the bottom edge. So I'm going to show you here the way that you control how dark your crayon is by how hard you press. So if you're going to push harder with your crayon, not hard enough to break it, be careful. But if you're pressing harder with your crayon, you're going to get a much darker color on your paper, whereas if it's just lightly brushing across your paper, it's going to be much lighter. So that's how we control the value when we're using crayons or colored pencils. You can't control it with marker, but or like oil pastel, it wouldn't work. But if we're using crayons or colored pencils or just regular pencil, that's how that works. I was going to use a different green for this one, but then I decided to go with a true green. Yeah, I just like the way it looks, like how it fades. I just think it looks really nice. Almost there. If you want to try and practice your value in this way, that's awesome. I can't wait to see. But if not, if that's not a part of your design, that's okay too. I decided to use blue violet instead of just regular purple because I think blue violet is my favorite shade of purple. I think it's so pretty. Ah, yes, got it. All done. It is complete.
Alrighty, artists, great job. So now that you have your thankful typography project all done, you can post this on Google Classroom so that I am able to see it. So you've got a couple of options when you're photographing your artwork. You could take a picture so that it is just your artwork in the frame. And the easiest way to do that, I think, is if you're going to like turn your,